Good morning. Some people have said, Geoff, where's the serious videos? Well, I've got three for you today. First up, Worcester. I think a clean air zone is coming to Worcester. If you don't know what a clean air zone is, it's a place where there is no difference to the air quality, but you have to pay to go through. That's the key thing here. So residents of Worcester, if you live in and around Worcester, I think a low emission zone is coming, which means there will be cameras and there will be fines. So why do I think that? Well, this was in the Worcester news this week. Councillors back plan to clean up air quality in Worcester. City councillors have backed a plan to improve air quality in Worcester. The Air Quality Supplementary Planning Document, the SPD. Now, we've seen this before in other videos. This has been addressed in other Geoff videos. And this planning document adds details to the policies set out in the South Worcestershire Development Plan. So, the SPD sets out the details of the policies that are in the SWDP. You got it? A planning blueprint for the south of the country. You're going to get a lot of these abbreviations, a lot of these capital letter organisations, which all blame each other to hide the fact that they're all doing the bidding of the World Economic Forum and the World Health Organisation. Basically, the goal is to get you out of your car and make sure you're absolutely skint. And it's coming to Worcester. At a council meeting on July the 8th, the document was formally adopted by Worcester City Council, introducing the SPD, reminder, supplementary planning document. Councillor Hannah Cooper, Hannah, please join me for a video, said, air quality is a matter of public health, quality of life, and the legacy we leave for our future generations. Poor air quality can lead to serious health issues, including asthma, heart disease, and even premature death, she said. We cannot stand idly by while our air quality deteriorates. We must take action now. Hannah goes on, by adopting this SPD, supplementary planning document, we can create a framework that prioritises clean air and sustainable living. Sustainable living. This document is not just a set of guidelines, it is a commitment to improving the health of our community and safeguarding our environment. Imagine a Worcester city where our children can play in parks without the worry of harmful pollutants. Hannah Cooper, councillor with Worcester. I invite you, this is a formal invite from a chap with a small YouTube channel with just over 150,000 subscribers. I am inviting you personally to join me either in my car or perhaps even better. Let's go for a walk around some of these parks, shall we? You and I'll film it for YouTube and you can talk me through the problems that we've got in Worcester that are leading you to push towards a low emission zone, because we all know that's where this is going. So there you go, Hannah. That is my public invitation for you to state this publicly and show me the air pollution problems that we have in Worcester, so I can then share with all of my subscribers and indeed all the residents of Worcester that we do actually need a low emission zone. What we need is cameras all over Worcester to stop certain cars of a certain age with certain types of engines from driving through the town centre. And we should charge those people through the nose, because we know that it's mostly the poorer people that drive the older cars, and it's the older cars that fall foul of the emissions, and this is simply an attack on the poor. Hannah, join me for a video and you can talk me through it. Picture our streets filled with cleaner air where walking and cycling become safe and enjoyable modes of transport. We're literally alongside the River Severn. Walking and cycling is already pretty enjoyable in Worcester. I mean, yes, we've got some traffic problems. I'll tell you what you could do, Hannah. You could take a look at what Headway and Ringway are doing when they're closing the roads, because every other road in Worcester seems to be closed every other day. In fact, I've been driving past one just the last couple of days where on the first day, I saw that there was some water leaking down the road, and then they fixed that. And then the temporary traffic lights have stayed there for a further 2 days with no work going on. So all those cars are pulling up to that traffic light. This is on a hill as well, so they're all pulling up to the traffic light. They're braking, which is causing pollutants. Then they're idling for however long the traffic light is, which is causing pollutants. And then the cars coming up the other way, because it's an uphill. They had the momentum when they were going up the hill. Their momentum has been stopped by the traffic light. Then they need to engage the clutch. Use too many revs to get up the hill, do a hill start, get through first and second gear, which is using more pollutants than they were using when they were in fourth going up the hill. So how about we stop the roadworks? Because that's a much better idea if you want to stop the pollution. Make the traffic move, make the traffic flow, because you get pollution when traffic stops and idles. So stop giving us restrictive traffic schemes when really you should just let the traffic flow, like the river does. through the city. Can we talk about the pollution in the river as well? Because I think the people of Worcester would much prefer a plan to clean up the river and ensure that it's safe. I mean, you talk about kids playing in parks, but imagine if the river was so safe that people could quite freely swim in it without worrying about getting ill. I think the people of Worcester would be much more behind that than you just putting up some cameras and charging people £8 a day for driving into it, which is what's coming. Councillor Andrew Cross said, Andrew, you might as well join me in the car as well. Air quality is a fundamental human right and it disproportionately affects disadvantaged people more. They're not able to move to areas with better air quality. We're talking about Worcester. Worcester in the UK. There's nothing wrong with the air quality in Worcester. And you guys in the comments, come on, back me up here. This is another example of where Worcester is leading the way and doing things that are not being done in other districts, and with local government reorganisation I really hope progress like this is kept. Council leader Lynn Denham said she sat on an air quality working group many moons ago that made recommendations but minimal progress. Councillor leader Lynn Denham, why don't we all go for a foursome? Lynn, Hannah and Andrew, I'd like to go for a walk with the three of you and you can talk me through your concerns. That would be brilliant. And then I can present it to the people in a way that they understand, that doesn't use things like SPD and SWDP and hide behind blueprints and frameworks and schemes. Let me present it to the people in a way that actually makes sense. This is absolutely positive progress looking to address air quality problems in the city, she said. That is the end of the document. But the point is, this is not just about Worcester. This is going to be happen wherever you live. So if you've watched this video and you don't live in Worcester, keep an eye on your local council and what they're up to, because this air quality supplementary planning department came from somewhere. All of this stuff is coming from somewhere. Please let's not pretend that Councillor Hannah Cooper was walking through a park and went, do you know what? It's really polluted in here. And do you know how I know that? Because I live in and around Worcester and I know what Worcester is like. And that's absolutely not a concern, which means that this policy of air quality is a top-down policy that has come from somewhere. That means that somewhere there's a plan and somewhere there's an agenda, and all these councillors are either falling for it, hook, line and sinker, or they know exactly what they're doing by doing the bidding of the World Economic Forum and the World Health Organization and all the nefarious parties that want to stop us from going anywhere and stop us from owning and running our old cars. We do not have a pollution problem in Worcester. There's lots of problems in Worcester. There's lots of problems around the country, and there's lots of things that are impacting our health that would be much better. What was the words there, right? Imagine a Worcester city where our children can play in parks without the worry of harmful pollutants. How about, right, we do something about fast food? Because fast food and crap quality food is much more likely to lead to health concerns, all right? How about we do something more about obesity? Fat children. Fat children should be a crime. We could do a lot more about that. We could do a lot more about nutrition and good quality food and getting good quality food into people. All this is going to do is charge poor people more money and restrict travel, transport and access into Worcester. I mean, to be honest, Worcester's not too bad. If you go through Worcester town centre, it's not actually too bad. But there are a lot of phone shops and I know that there's less footfall than there used to be, like everywhere around the country. So that is my invitation for Hannah, Andrew and Lynn to sit down with me and explain this before you start making recommendations that we need a low emission zone in Worcester, because we blooming don't, and I'm pretty sure I've proved it. Thanks for watching. Serious videos today. It's Serious Friday with Geoff Buys Cars.